The Supreme Court has just given Donald Trump even more unchecked power to engage in his mass deportation scheme, in this case, allowing him to send migrants to just whatever country he wants. It doesn't even have to be a country that they maybe lived in or were born in years or decades ago. It could just be some random third country, and he barely has to even give a nod to due process in doing it. And so we don't have a lot about the thought process of SCOTUS here. I'm not sure that there was a thought process. All we have is a brief unsigned order that did not explain their reasoning. They put on hold a federal judge's ruling that said that those affected nationwide should have a quote, meaningful opportunity to bring claims that they would be at risk of torture, persecution, or death if they were sent to countries the administration has made deals with to receive deported migrants. And I just think, and the liberals in the court also thought that like if you are going to condemn hundreds or thousands of people to possible persecution, torture, death, you should write a couple of paragraphs about it. Like just something, anything, a nod to why you think that's okay, but they don't have to do that. And so as a result of this, the administration can and will quickly remove migrants and send them to a long list of countries that none of these migrants would want to go to, including South Sudan, which I think, if I ask the audience, where's the last place you want to be dropped with no money or paperwork? It would probably be in the top 5, maybe. In any event, the 3 liberal justices did dissent. They wrote 19 pages because they give a damn. Sotomayor wrote, the government has made clear in word and deed that it feels itself unconstrained by law, free to deport anyone, anywhere, without notice or an opportunity to be heard. She said that the court's action was as incomprehensible as it is inexcusable. Apparently, the court finds the idea that thousands will suffer violence in far-flung locales more palatable than the remote possibility that a district court exceeded its remedial powers when it ordered the government to provide notice and process to which the plaintiffs are constitutionally and statutorily entitled. Now, the court does say, in theory, they're not saying the president can do this forever. They're just saying the president can't be stopped from doing it while the legal process goes on. A legal process that could take years. And here's the thing. Let's say that there's a miracle and 2 or 3 years from now, it gets all the way back up to the court, which didn't even care enough about it to write a couple paragraphs, and they decide he doesn't have that power. That is going to be very small comfort to the people who've already died in the streets of South Sudan over the course of the 2 or 3 years that they're waiting. This is literal life and death stuff, but it's a joke to them. It's a joke to the conservatives on the Supreme Court. It's certainly a joke to Secretary Kristi Noem, who literally posted a GIF of Donald Trump doing what he calls a dance in response to this. These are not serious people. What do you think, Elliot?
Kristi Noem. Yeah, I wouldn't say Kristi Noem is a very serious person, John, but she is serious about hating on immigrants. She seems to get something out of it that is, if you want to talk depth psychology, so maybe a little bit libidinal. She gets like a real sense of pleasure, I think, out of being absolutely atrocious and sees her wins as defined entirely by their losses. And I think that when you have a statement like this from these sort of more left-leaning justices, for me, it's like, it does take me back to being like, I thought we had a system here that was supposed to sort of safeguard against these kinds of things. But then they release these statements, and I don't know if it's just me, but there's almost like a callousness where I'm like, I know what they're hearing on the other side when they read that statement. They're hearing blah, 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 blah. Here they go again, yada, yada, yada. And it's like, I'm sitting there, I'm almost losing faith in the power of words. And I feel like that's all I had. It's all the only string I'm still holding on to at this point, John.
100%, a thin, tenuous string it is.
Yeah, a fraught string.
Quite fraught.